All right, we're scheduled today for a status hearing, and also the court intends to take up a motion for temporary custody and parenting time orders that was filed by the petitioner. I did review some emails that got sent late yesterday afternoon. Uh, I think perhaps a continuance request from Ms. Pohl, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and you wish to ask the court to continue this hearing?
Yes, so that I can meet with Brock Baxter so that he can represent me during the hearing.
Okay, this case was continued from a previous setting for that same purpose. Back on August 14th, we were scheduled. And I think Mr. Baxter had contacted the court, and we coordinated a continuance so he could enter, and he's not yet entered his appearance.
And there it is, the objection. Notice how the lawyer wastes no time pointing out this case has already dragged on for over a year without any real parenting plan. Question for YL watching, do you think the judge should cut her some slack, or is it time to draw the line?
Mr. Gutenberg, what's your position on the continuance request?
We're objecting to a continuance at this point. Actually, Mr. Baxter did call our office this week and let us know he will not be entering an appearance in this case. But also, we passed the 1 year mark since the petition filed in this case, and there still aren't any temporary orders. Ms. Pohl submitted, some exhibits, and what the exhibits and the back and forth between the parties shows is that we really need some temporary orders in this case. There's disputes about pickups, disputes about drop-offs, disputes about school enrollment, who has rights, who doesn't have rights, after the multiple continuances, we just don't know how long this thing is going to go. I mean, temporary orders are usually ex parte anyway, so I don't see any reason why we can't go forward today.
All right. Ms. Pohl, anything additional you'd like to add regarding your continuance request?
It mainly comes down to the financial, and that's been really tough. I have been in contact, as I have told the court, with Kansas Legal Services, and that was about a year process of talking to them, showing evidence, and they also told me to wait to file a report with DCF as well.
All right. Well, this case had been set for a bench trial months ago that ended up getting taken off docket. I can't recall. I think maybe there were some medical issues, some other continuances for you to try to hire counsel. Really, this case does need to move forward. It's unusual that a case would be operating this long without some sort of temporary parenting plan. So I'm not going to continue the issue of a temporary parenting plan out any further. I want to take that up today, and then after we do that, then we can figure out if we need to schedule a trial date or see where we need to go from here. But today I'd like to, at a minimum, get a temporary parenting plan in place. So Mr. Gutenberg, give me a little bit of background on what the current de facto parenting plan has been.
Sure. Per the filings in this case, I submitted some exhibits late last night. I don't know if those got printed for you, but in the answer and in the petition, both parties agreed that Mr. Pohl has had custody of both children since 2024 at his home in El Dorado. They're currently enrolled in school there in Skelly Elementary School and El Dorado Middle School. This is the life as they've known it for as long as this case has been pending. you know, there was some informal sharing before that, and arguably at one point, Ms. Paul had been the primary custodian. But as I said, they've been separated since since spring of 2022. But since this case has actually been pending, and as I said, it's been a little bit more than a year now, the children have been with Mr. Paul at his home and enrolled in school in El Dorado. And
Remind me how old the children are at this point.
um, um, like,
10 and 12.
Yes,
is that right,
yes, Your Honor.
Jared? Thank you.
All right, and they've been in the primary custody of Mr. Pohl for how long?
Year, Your Honor.
A year and 2 weeks, according to my notes.
And how long have they been enrolled in El Dorado schools?
For this school year, for this school year and last school year.
All right, where did they go to school before that?
In Wichita, the Minnehaha Magnet School, and there was a I don't remember the name of the elementary school. Do you remember, Jared? Curtis Elementary School.
It was
Okay,
Curtis.
So last school year they were in El Dorado, and they've just started El Dorado schools again for this school year. Is that accurate?
Right.
Your Honor.
Okay.
They started in Wichita last year.
All right, Ms. Pohl, you'll have an opportunity to respond here shortly. So,
They did start school last year in Wichita before I brought them with me and moved them to the El Dorado School District.
all right, and how long, Mr. Gutenberg, has your client resided in El Dorado?
Since about the time of the separation, I believe, since about spring of 2022. I think it took him a little bit of a while to get a home there. Do I have that right, Jared?
Yeah, it was. I was in an apartment in Wichita for probably about a year or so, maybe a little more, before I moved to El Dorado. So I've been here for about 2 years.
All right, and what, Mr. Gutenberg, what type of parenting time has Ms. Pohl had during this period?
The parties have tried to do just kind of informal sharing, ad hoc, as agreed, and you know, as I mentioned before, that's kind of led to some conflict, and I think one of the things that's kind of interesting about this is you know, Ms. Pohl does not have a permanent home, does not have transportation, so Mr. Pohl pretty much every time that
Wow. Did you catch that? The children are being dropped off at different hotels depending on where mom and her boyfriend are staying. That's a major red flag in custody cases because courts usually want stability and consistency for kids. What do you think? Should hotel living automatically disqualify someone from primary custody?
that Ms. Pohl gets to have some parenting time, it's because Mr. Pohl drops the kids off at the hotel that she happens to be staying at with her new partner at that time. Which of course does not seem, at least to petitioner, like a stable scenario for primary residency.
And how often has she been having parenting time?
Most weekends, to my understanding.
Yes, it's most weekends. Like with the way the post office works with the day off, it rolls around to where I get a Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So for that long weekend, I'll have the kids with me. But there was the weekend where Monday was the holiday, and absolutely, they went over Friday evening, and then I picked them up Monday evening.
And and I want to, Mr. Gutenberg, I'm going to address you If you need to consult with your client regarding the answers, that's fine. Has your client been doing all of the transportation on these visits, the pickups and drop-offs?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And what type of temporary parenting plan are you asking for, Mr. Gutenberg?
Pretty much just that status quo of kind of reasonable sharing of the parenting time as requested, but just making sure that there's joint legal custody, and also that Mr. Pohl is designated as the primary residential custodian.
All right. Anything else you would add?
I would just make the point that again, our position is that it would not make sense to give the primary residential to somebody who doesn't have a residence, and that's kind of aside from the argument of what's been the status quo, where the children have been geographically where they're enrolled in school. So that's petitioner's position at this time.
Where does your client work, Mr. Gutenberg?
He works at the United States Post Office here in Wichita.
So he works in Wichita?
I believe so. Is that right, Jared?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And is he remarried, or is there a live-in there in the home with him?
Yes, he does. He does have a new partner. They haven't discussed with me if they have any plans to get married once the divorce is final, but he does have a new partner that they live together and share expenses. And
Are there any other children in the home?
not to my knowledge.
No.
Finally, the judge steps in with structure. No more, at that's discretion, weekends, now it's a clear, rotating schedule. This is a great example of how judges move big, messy situations into enforceable court orders.
All right. Ms. Pohl, give me an update on your current living situation first.
I am currently living in a hotel, and when we go to trial, that will be the full explanation why I'm still residing in the hotels. I currently pay between, or my boyfriend pays between $2,000 to $3,000 a month just in shelter cost, and it's because it's pretty much a living forced kind of day by day, and that's not including transportation, it's not including food. So the expenses are really high right now, and there is two separate rooms, and there is a full kitchen as well.
Where is this hotel located? What is it? What is the name of it?
It is Motel 6 on West Kellogg.
West Kellogg?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you live there with a boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay. Are there other children that reside there?
They do not reside.
Okay. And are you employed?
No.
Is your boyfriend employed?
He has, well, he's from Europe, and he has his bank account.
Okay, but he doesn't work?
No.
But he's paying for these various expenses that you referenced?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So how much parenting time have you been exercising?
like I said, the question was, like, previously, Jared insisted that he had in the past, when the children resided with me, that he had every single weekend, and that he had every single 3-day weekend off as well. And the conflict has began because there has been a lot of fights, and he's restricted when the children come. There's a lot of threats as well to the weekends, because I asked that continue, because I thought it was fair that when they were with me that they had
All right,
every
Ms. Cole, right now I'm just trying to get, I don't want all of the background information. I just want to find out how often you've been exercising parenting time.
It depends. Sometimes Jared wants the 3-day weekend, so I do not get that weekend with the kids, and he'll have some events come up that he doesn't. So it's pretty much sporadic. And
Okay, on an average month, how many weekends would you say you exercise parenting time?
the summer was longer because I would have them, during breaks and everything. And lately, I mean, since school started, I have had the children during the weekend, except like the 3-day weekends.
When you say 3-day weekends, are those holiday weekends?
Now, those are his scheduled time off of work that he gets from his job. Sorry.
So he utilizes parenting time on the weekends when he has a 3-day weekend, and then you've been having parenting time on the non-3-day weekends?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. How long do you plan on being at this hotel?
I am hoping for about two months.
All right. And then what's your plan?
To look for an apartment.
All right. What kind of temporary parenting plan would you propose?
I have a hard time agreeing to a parenting plan because of my concerns with Jared.
All right. So you don't have a proposal to make today for a temporary plan?
I would like to have every weekend with the kids. I mean, as I had done in the past with Jared.
And it is where things get really interesting, the holidays. Judges often flip-flop holiday schedules year to year to keep things fair. But let's be real, who do you think the kids would rather spend Christmas morning with, mom at a Motel 6 or dad in a stable home? Tough call.
Okay. Mr. Gutenberg, when does your client have these 3-day weekends?
My understanding is that he has a Monday or Friday off from time to time. He's notified in advance, but it doesn't sound like it follows a particular pattern. Is that right?
It does. It follows a particular pattern. We have different shifts for different days off that we rotate at the post office. So, like this week, my day off was Monday, and then next week it rotates to the next week, Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday. So it's usually about 4 weeks in between a 3-day weekend.
Are the kids involved in any extracurricular activities?
Yes, sir. Ellie is a part of K Club here in El Dorado, and she is rehearsing for the K Club musical, I think next month.
Is that something, or do they do any activities that are on the weekends?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Pohl, do you have transportation?
No, the vehicle in question is the is the marital asset, the van.
All right. Does your boyfriend have transportation?
No, we use Uber.
All right. All right. It makes sense for a temporary parenting plan for there to be joint legal custody for Mr. Pohl to have primary residency. The children are in El Dorado. They're enrolled in schools. Mr. Gutenberg, does your client own a home or rent a home or in an apartment? What's his living situation?
I believe they rent their home.
Yes,
Oh.
we rent in El Dorado.
All right. And how long have you lived in the home you're currently in?
Myself living, Stephanie lived here prior to my partner lived here prior to me, for 2 or 3 years. So she's been here for about 5 years, and I've been here for about 2 years now.
Okay. The children have stable residency with the father here in El Dorado. They're enrolled in school in El Dorado. I don't want to have the parenting plan as it is, where it's basically at Mr.